everyone. Welcome to the Maid Summit. I am here to talk about how to generate cost-free referrals through Facebook. And it is my hope that this will be the only guide that you're going to need to do that. So by the end of this presentation, I'm hoping that you will have a great new way to get cost-free referrals through using Facebook. I am Chantel Voss, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Carly.ai. Carly.ai is a software that can be used in Facebook to basically optimize your social media experience. And we'll talk more about that far beyond after I teach you some really great tricks and tools. So, question for you. If you could generate a consistent number of leads for your business without investing in expensive ads, would you be interested? And furthermore, if you could bring in consistent leads without spending hours learning new strategies or implementing complex systems, would you be interested? So I want to tell you that I have a promise for you today. I am one of those people that when I spend my time listening to webinars or presentations, I really want to get something from that time. So I am going to promise to show you exactly how to bring in consistent leads. And I'm going to do it without you having to invest in expensive ads. We're going to do it without you having to learn new marketing strategies that it's going to take hours. And you're not going to have to implement really any complex systems, nothing related to autoresponders or technology. So everything should be very clear by the end, and you should be able to generate some consistent leads using Facebook. So we all know that Facebook can be problematic, and there are really lots of reasons for that. One of them is it's time consuming. You're a busy service, Maid Service, professional home service company, and you don't have a ton of time. And on average, we're spending 2.5 hours a day on social media. So Facebook's incredibly time consuming. If you are trying to generate leads, generate sales and business using Facebook, you might be using ads. Ads are expensive. And even if you have ads that might be working, they're difficult to scale. And even though you're investing all of your hard-earned money, there's really no guarantee that you're going to succeed using ads and succeed consistently. What I found is that it doesn't really have to be that difficult. If you can use Facebook to your advantage, and if you know exactly what to do, you can actually implement just a few steps and you'll be able to bring in leads without actually spending a dime on ads. And you can do this if you're a maid service, and you can do this if you're any other type of service. You're a graphic design company or a plumber or a landscaper or a web development company. It's not difficult. You just have to know what the strategy is. So here's what I discovered about Facebook. And I think I discovered it, I use Facebook about as much as really everybody else. And I had started to join several different Facebook groups. And they were all groups in my local community. So mom groups, I live in Orange County, California. So they were South Orange County moms, or the mom group in my city, or Mission Viejo Connection. So I was joining groups that are local city groups, neighborhood groups, and county level groups. And I really, really noticed a recurring trend. It was unbelievable to me how many times moms and local neighbors and neighbors that I didn't know were asking for recommendations and referrals. It was, can anybody recommend a maid service? Can anybody recommend a plumber? Can anybody recommend a dentist? And I couldn't believe it. People were going to Facebook groups instead of just going to Google or Google My Business or Yelp or any of these other services, Angie's List that I had been so used to people going to find things like home services or to find really anything on the internet. And it was also really interesting to me that even though these group members didn't know each other, this wasn't my brother, this wasn't my mother, this wasn't my cousin, this wasn't my colleague, people were asking complete strangers, where the only thing that they had in common was that they happened to join the same Facebook group. And so I noticed this trend. I couldn't really help but capitalize on it, because I thought, if this is the case, businesses have to know about it. They have to be able to join these groups. They have to be able to jump in when somebody's asking for your product and your service. You got to be capitalizing on that. And so I want to show you how to do that. But before I do, one individual that stood out for me was a woman named Stacy Peterson, and she owned a Maid Pro franchise in Arizona. And she had mentioned that she had just started her franchise in January of 2019. And she started joining all of her local community and neighborhood Facebook groups. And she did it with the sole purpose, sure, to communicate as a member of the community, to join these groups as a member of the community, but she acquired 100 new clients within 4 months of starting her business. And she did that by consistently showing up in Facebook groups. And when I heard that, it just sort of added gasoline to the fire for me. And I was able to continue to help other businesses do the same thing. But you might be wondering, why is it so powerful? Why does Facebook groups, why do they work? Once you learn how to use Facebook groups to your advantage, you're going to be able to bring in customers, because these customers are ready to buy. Their wallet is out. They are asking the group, can you recommend? I'm looking for. Where can I find? I need to buy. And so when they're asking these questions, they're ready to buy. It's ready to go. They also typically have a higher lifetime value because people are referring in these groups. So when you are in these groups and you're getting a human connection and you're touching that conversation with your authentic self, you're going to see that these people last longer. There's a longer lifetime value. They're more loyal. And what I love is that they're more likely to market your business for you through the power of referrals, through Facebook groups, when they have a service that they're happy with. And I just want to say, I mean, doesn't that sound absolutely fantastic? I think it does. And I want to show you what something like that looks like. So I put up something that happened in my very own neighborhood, in my very own mom group in Ladera Ranch, California. And it says here, can anyone recommend a good, reliable, trustworthy maid service? And here's the thing. This happens all day, every day. And I want you to take advantage of this. I want you to leverage this, and I want you to be able to earn this business. So I just want to say that if you have a presence in these groups and your customers have a presence in these groups, you are going to catch wind of these types of posts, and you're going to be able to jump in there and have a meaningful conversation with those people. But it's not just, it's simple, but you got to do it the right way. So the solution, while simple, I want to dive into each of these steps. So the first thing is joining relevant Facebook groups. And I'm going to get to that in a second, how to join relative Facebook groups. Then you want to be able to reply to these posts and comment on content from your ideal clients. Make sure that you're not just sounding salesy and spammy and just responding only for your own sole purposes. You want to make sure that you're really being authentic, that if somebody came up to you in person and asked, can anyone recommend a maid service? What would you say about yourself? What would your customers say about you? Talk about it. Don't just reply robotically. And that takes me to the third step, obviously, which is when you are responding, be sure to craft a thoughtful reply. Don't just write the name of your business and your website, or I can help website, right? That is not what we're going for. We're going for authentic conversation here. So when we're talking about this and how it works for maid services, I'll tell you that, again, we've got another maid service owner that said that they were really astonished that within 30 days, they were able to comment on 27 different group posts, and that generated 67 landing page visits. Okay, so think about that for a second. There were 27 times within 30 days, so one post a day in this case, one response, not post, a day, where they then generated 67 landing page visits. Now, why is that? That's because it is a group experience, that even though one person on any given day was asking for a maid service or a cleaning service, other people were commenting, other people were listening, other people were finding out, and they wanted to click through and see what that person had to offer. So even though there were 27 comments, it was more than double the number of clicks through to her landing page. And then on top of that, she captured 9 full leads because she had a contact form with information. And then out of those 9 leads, within the first 30 days, she got 3 new clients. So their click-through rate was 248%. And the average lifetime value of those 3 new customers were $17,000 for her. That's pretty powerful. And by the way, it doesn't cost anything to do this, right? So to just participate in these groups and give a meaningful response doesn't cost anything. So there are a few things that I want to make sure that you understand, and that while the process is simple, you want to be sure to find and do the right things so that you really optimize your experience. And so the first thing is finding the right Facebook groups. I have come up with sort of a formulaic approach for local or neighborhood Facebook groups. And I want to impart that information to you because I've tried lots of different things over the last 2 years with this process, and I found that these things are the best. So when you are looking for groups, you want to make sure that those, unless you live in a very small place, in a rural place or a very small area, I would be on the lookout for groups with a minimum of 1,000 members. And that means that there's going to be just enough conversation, just enough going on in that group so that you can actually get something of value from that group. People are asking for recommendations. The next thing you want to look for when you're trying to find the right Facebook group is you look at the number of posts that Facebook group has per day. And to do that, by the way, you search for, let's say you search for your city. So again, I live in Ladera Ranch. So I go to Ladera Ranch, California, and I might put the keyword moms or neighborhood or something along those lines. When I click on that group, I'll be taken to the About section. And right in that About section, I can take a look at how many members are in that group. And then it will also give me the number of posts per day. And it will give me the last 30 days, the number of posts that have occurred over the last 30 days. So make sure that there's a decent size and that there's enough conversation that's happening in that group. Then for local businesses, it's obviously incredibly important that you join the right Facebook groups in your geographic area. So talk about when you talk about the right geographic areas, you're going to think about, what cities do I service? What counties do I service? And then when you go into Facebook, you're going to want to search the city name and the county names, and Facebook will be able to provide you with all of the different groups within your geographic area. One pitfall is you probably don't want to join the marketplace groups or the buy-sell trade groups. And that is really because most of the time people are just asking to sell things and responding to things that they want to purchase. So I would avoid that unless you're aware that in those different groups, you're going to have recommendation requests that are happening for you. Now, finding the right group discussions. The way you do that is you want to think about your product or your service and the keywords that correlate to asking for a recommendation. So think about it. If you're a maid service, we're talking maid, we're talking clean, cleaning, housekeeper, housekeeping, cleaner. All of those different keywords are associated with your business. And so what you want to do is go to the group, go to the search section of that group, and then type in your keywords. Or if there hasn't been a lot of discussion happening that day, you can always just scroll through the posts. Or you can look for just things like recommend. Can anyone recommend? And then you'll be brought up, all of the different recommendation posts will be brought up in that case. Now, Facebook does allow you to sort your posts. It's not great. The sorting is not great, but it does happen. So over on the left-hand side, you'll be able to sort posts by date. And finding the right discussions when we're responding to them. So let's say we find that discussion. How do you actually engage with that person to earn their business? I will tell you, it's not, remember I said, it is not just, hey, I'll help you, www.mywebsite.com. You want to craft a response that totally sets you apart, that's authentic. So I've included an example here. Hey, my name's Chantel, and I'm the owner of Maid to Clean. We'd love to help. I've been in the neighborhood for 15 years, and all of our employees are bonded and insured. You can email me personally here, or you can use this link. Now, here's what I want to tell you. It is not just about responding and letting it slide. If you really want to engage with that person, you might even say, hey, I'm going to send you a direct message. Hey, make sure you check your direct messages. I'm going to send those over to you. And then you can engage in a discussion and find out what their wants and their needs are. So I want to impart a couple of extra tips that are really important when you're talking about Facebook groups. One is speed. Try to be one of the first people to respond to those. When you are one of the first people to respond to a recommendation request, just like in SEO or search engine results pages, if you're one of the first three, you're likely going to get clicked on. Then it's always good to incentivize, right? So if you have a first-time discount or a first-time offer, or you provide free estimates or you provide a free gift, make sure that you tell the original poster in your comment, hey, by the way, our first customers, or the first time that you use our service, you get $50 off. You get $100 off. That is just an extra incentive for that person to contact you. Then, social proof, okay? Reviews are great. So let's say you've got a lot of reviews on Angie's List or a lot of reviews on Google My Business. I would recommend that you start having your best customers leave 5-star reviews for you on Facebook, because you can put your page in the comment of that poster, that original poster's comments. And when you put your page at Maid to Clean, at Maid Pro, you're going to be able to take a look at 5-star results that come up. 5 stars are going to appear in your comments, and a little business tile with your graphic is going to appear. So I would show that social proof if you have it. I already mentioned, don't be shy. Make sure to send a direct message, but be sure to tell them that you're sending it. Because if you go and you try to send a DM to somebody, a direct message to somebody, and you're not friends with them on Facebook, it'll go to their junk folder or their other folder. So unless you tell them in the comments, hey, I've reached out to you via DM, let's chat. You won't be able to, they won't really be able to see that you created that message in the first place. So the last comment is treat your Facebook profile like it is a landing page, like it's a brochure. Make sure that the background image is not just, it's nice to have your family. It's nice to have a landscape of the area. But if you can, if you're comfortable, have your information about your business, your branding on the banner page. In the area underneath your name, have a link to your website so that people can contact you and get an estimate. On the left-hand side, tell people where you work. Be sure to include your business phone number and be sure to include your URL, your Facebook, on your Facebook profile. This is so that when you make those great comments, when you're authentically setting yourself apart from other people, they're going to be able to click on your profile, which they will do. And then you're going to be able to generate more traffic and generate more leads. Okay, so this strategy is effective. I have personally, for my clients, using local Facebook groups, all clients together in a year, I typically refer about $1 to $2 million a year in services. So that includes maid services, plumbing services, it includes carpet cleaning, all of my different customers. When I do this for them, when I test it, I'm able to generate tons of business for them. And by the way, once again, you're not paying for this. It is free, except for your time. Now, I understand that this can be time consuming. It takes time to be able to go in to each of your groups, search for your keywords, and create comments on the people that are asking for recommendations. So what is Carly? As you know, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Carly, and it is a social media optimization tool. And before I developed Carly, I did all of this manually. So I know exactly I know that it works, and I know you don't need software to do it. I want to reiterate that point. However, I created Carly so that I wouldn't have to sit in every single one of my groups every single time. So what Carly does over the last 2 years, I've perfected and streamlined the process so that other people can use this process to generate business for themselves without having to sit on Facebook 24/7, 365. And so what Carly does is you go to Carly.ai, you log in with your Facebook account, and you can actually use Carly to sit and find your keywords. So you put into Carly all of your keywords: maid service, cleaning, housekeeper, move out clean, whatever it is that you have, all of your keywords, every single one of them. And what Carly will do is she'll find your ideal clients for you by sitting in those groups and notifying you when somebody posts something with one of your keywords. So if somebody says, can anyone recommend a maid service? And maid is your keyword, bam, Carly gets it and she'll notify you. She will put all of these posts in a very clean newsfeed that you can then click on and go respond quickly and easily. It's not a mobile app yet. That's coming, but it is mobile optimized. So you can do this from your mobile phone. And hopefully what it will do is save you even more time and even more money because again, she's free. So if you happen to have, like in my city, we have Orange County moms or South Orange County moms, and I'm able to monitor up to 50,000 people at one time, just with one group and my keywords. and that's free. Carly is free to use in one group and free to install in as many groups as you have if you happen to be an admin. So Carly, that's my little Carly bot. She's here to help you manage all your social groups in less than 5 minutes a day. That is no joke. And if you need to or want to, you can sign up. Just go to www.carly.ai and she will assist you with all of your Facebook group needs. And, I just want to leave this with you guys. Social media is moving from transactional to an experience-based economy, which is about having conversations with the customer, right? So this is what we are doing. We are making the ability to have conversations with the customer easy. We're making it efficient, and we're optimizing that for you. Again, my name is Chantel Voss. It's been an absolute pleasure presenting this information to you. And please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you along your journey. Have a great day.